Leo ni Jumanne.
Endelea.
Sani saa 6.
Na ni Tuesday. Na tumefika. Wanajipa. Tuko freshi. Tunawapa tu.
What's that? Ni saa 6. Whose song is that?
Ivo.
No. Yeah.
Saru.
Club gani inapiga?
Ni Saru.
Ni Saru.
Niko
Maintain.
something about ameshika kidogo. Yeah, it's Saru for sure.
Yeah?
Yes.
Ndio hiyo. To maintain.
Ivo. Tuna maintain.
Usilale sana.
Ivo.
Maintain.
Ivo.
Bas, leo ni Tuesday.
More than a Tuesday. Leo ni Jumanne.
I actually came across this one of those Baba in the knees where he was riling people up for Tuesday. I think it was in 2023. Leo ni Jumaa. Kesho ni Jumamosi. Kesho kutwa ni Jumapili. Mutondo ni Jumatatu. Siku ya Labor Day. Mutondo go. Tuesday.
Wow.
Tuesday.
I love it.
You know what? I'm gonna miss Baba.
Yes,
Rather, I miss him. And we're gonna miss
There's
him
some
because
things you can't
wow,
teach.
you can't.
Hakuna shule unaweza enda kufunzwa tu.
Na ukijaribu
Charisma.
kufanya kama Babu na kwa copycat.
Aki.
So kwa original, come up with your own.
You know, I was thinking it, I didn't want to say it. He thought it and did it. Thank God. You know when someone else takes the name with the bullets? Yeah. I was thinking it, I didn't want to say it.
Lakini niliona youth leader jana. Alikuwa na swag. Alikuwa amevaa hiyo kofia. He's wearing glasses. And it's those glasses that have like a gold frame. Alikuwa naka smart.
Youth leader kuna glasses, kuna gold.
Pancheza. You know, he's leader for everything. He's youth leader, he's women leader, he's everything. There's that's a meeting where they were attending, and the party chairperson, Gladys Wanga, said, "Na tuko hapa pia." Women leadership.
Smameni.
The women leaders,
Smameni
please stand. Because youth leader stands. Please wave.
And the worst part is, Governor Wanga couldn't hold back the laughter. She couldn't hold it. I think she tried her best, but the way she's just
the women leaders,
He's leader for everything, guys.
Right. Youth leader, women leader.
Yeah. Hey. And leader pia uko ODM, party leader. Mambo yote leader. Yeah.
Yes.
Hata mnaweza itana nyumba 10 kwenu.
Aki.
Ako hapo.
Why not? Hey, but we are very ready for Tuesday.
Yo.
Very ready for Tuesday.
Excited.
Wow.
Mambo ni mengi. Masaa pia ni mengi. Lakini mambo ya kufanya ni machache.
Mambo ndio machache leo.
Leo mambo ya kufanya ndio machache. Leo mambo
ni machache.
Okay.
You can categorize, you can put them into 2 categories.
Actually.
Either we fix the nation or we bomoe it.
Actually.
Fair.
Maodone Maya.
Mary.
Fair. That's all right. That's clear.
Lakini unajua Sauti Sol walisema wakianika tunaanua.
Bas.
So tuongeze yetu, wakijenga tunabomoa. Ama wanabomoa tunajenga.
That's that one. Wakifunika tunafunua.
Exactly.
And so on and so forth. All right.
I love it.
Today we have some really good conversations. And one of them will be around street vendors. And I think it's something that we've discussed just now. The fact that ukipita tu hapa tao anytime from 3 p.m. It is a marketplace.
Yeah.
And it's the same for every town in Kenya. See, it's a phenomenon of
Nairobi.
Right? Street vendors often fall prey to many things. Kanjo being top of the list.
Yeah.
Kanjo being top of the list. But there's some legislation to protect them and of course their rights. And we'll have a public policy expert, Phyllis Wangoi Kamau, talk to us why vendors need protection. We'll also take a look at the legislation and why the Senate is looking to protect hawkers and how far this bill is ikipitia kwa Senate, imeanza wapi, who sponsored it, kwa nini, and what does the bill say. That's our 7 a.m.
And what's the plight of just, the nano and micro entrepreneurs?
Yeah.
Because that's, and sometimes you think about street vendors and you think about the guys who stop in traffic. But if you think about all the mama bogas who, lay their wares along the roadside or even in the estates, there's moves that Nairobi City County had done of, creating some of those kiosks. Because if they don't do that, then they come and just bomoa kiosks at night.
Yes.
You wake up in the morning, you just find your kiosk gone. I mean, those are the people. And if counties cannot support such people to do business, sasa tunafanya.
Tunadu.
Yeah.
And that's where the living and breathing economy of our country is.
Very
like
true.
that, the value of a shilling is realized at that level.
Yes. Yep.
So what it is that we need to do, because if you even look at unemployment numbers, what's the lowest hanging fruit for someone who's looking to make money? It's you go buy somewheres and become a hawker.
True.
So just looking at the numbers there, it's definitely a move that needs to happen. How do we formalize that informal part of the informal sector?
Right.
It's going to be a good one.
And then, there's been attempts in the past, and it always kind of tickles me when the attempts aren't user-centered. And by user here, I mean both the hawkers and the buyers. Because like CBD, basic example, there was a time when waliambiwa, kila mtu akwe hapo Ngara. Past Fig Tree, maybe coming down close to the junction for Muranga Road. There's the park, the fair, that one. It was like the convenience is the reason we buy their wares, right? So two things can be true at the same time.
Yes.
Does it make the city disorderly, chaotic, untidy? It kind of does.
Yeah.
However, is it convenient and serving a need for many people?
Yeah.
It does.
It does.
So then what's the truth? What's the fix, Eric? Why is it tickling you?
Even on the other side, if you flip it, to those that say hookers are a nuisance, it is, what is the best way for us to accommodate everybody, because these are public spaces that we are entitled to, they're entitled to. True. So what's the middle ground? Because then we have to deal with a lot, just even the optics of a city.
That middle ground, and you're raising a good point, is convenience versus order. So convenience for many people would be, nikitoka hapa hivi, I find guys who I can buy things from at the nearest possible place. Yes.
Selena is a 20 and that's it.
You open the window and you say, like that, right?
Yeah.
That versus now order. And is there a striking of a balance? I think there should be. Convenience should not necessarily mean that, now you just do it anyhowly, willy-nilly.
I like the word willy-nilly. It's a willy-nilly word.
Yeah. But then, how do you then create spaces that everybody knows? I know that in such a space, I'm going to find those, vendors. So this area is a vendor area.
Yeah.
The way we have Masai Market.
Yeah.
And Masai Market is in this particular space on this day.
On this day,
and you go there and you buy.
Yes.
And they're organized. And then on the other day, you don't find them there. So maybe such kind of things.
Is that not what City Market is meant to be?
Yeah. Which city market? This one?
Oh, the one in the CBD.
Yeah,
yes.
Not City Park Market, City
Market. Yeah. The size as well.
It's it's very restrictive. You can only fit a very
certain number of people.
Small number of people.
And I think that's why there have been that talk about expanding markets, like, creating Westlands Market, Morero Market, have markets outside.
Yeah.
Because City Market is serving if you're in the CBD, all right? So if you're not in the CBD, so where do you go to? And I think markets, that's the whole idea of having markets.
Yeah.
So within my area, there's a market there. I can go, I can find grocery, I can find other items that vendor related.
And even you can shop in peace, because kunako when you're shopping along the street, you don't have time kukagua vitu. You know, you're not picking the best of you're picking. You know, there's a difference between that and umengia soko.
And you're spending time there. True.
I want to give an example of Mwariro Market that's just here as you're heading towards Kamukunji and the level of organization that is there. And I had maybe a different perception until I had to visit Mwariro. And getting there, yes, you have to deal with the hecticness of just, everything.
Kanairo.
Yeah, Kanairo. But once you enter, you realize something. This is a well set up area. A lot of the shops there are still not taken. So is there an awareness that these spaces exist for these people? There's an expansion that's happened. And you're actually even able to shop things at like a fraction of the cost. And the other thing that I took note of is the number of non-Kenyans that are there. You have Tanzanians, you have Burundians, you have DRC. People
Doing their
biasharas because it's a very artisan space. So they do a lot of the woven products. So again, given that a lot of the shops, I would say 70% of the shops they are not taken, is where is the awareness on hawkers knowing that these spaces or I don't know, can they operate from there?
I think the angle that Mariam is raising is not necessarily the awareness for hawkers. It's for Mariam to know that Mwariro is there. For Ferraris and Eric to know that Mwariro is there. Because, you see, the trader will not go there and then spend a whole day. Mariam hasn't come. She'll be like, okay, I used to get Mariam
on the
Moya
street.
Avenue, so let me just go back there because that's where Mariam knows. I think it's just creating that balance between awareness that, guys, there's Mwariro, it's orderly, we have organized how you get to Mwariro, how you walk to Mwariro and you walk back, how you take, a bus, it drops you at a stage near Mwariro, all those kind of things. It's an entire ecosystem. Anyway, that's a 7 a.m. conversation with Phyllis. 8 o'clock, we talk about something that's about to happen tomorrow. The Law Society of Kenya's council has had meetings and they decided that, we've been talking about corruption in the judiciary, the slow manner in which administration of justice is actually done. And ni kama sasa, tunapigia mbuzi gitaa. Sasa what we shall do, tutawasha moto. Ndio mbuzi ijue, isiposikia gitaa, inachinjwa.
Okay.
Just play mbuzi guitar. No. Just looking at you, chewing. If it doesn't react, it will react to fire. It will know, hapa ni kubaya. And so the Law Society of Kenya has said tomorrow, all lawyers are boycotting courts across the country. No lawyer will appear in court to represent their client on any matter that is scheduled to be in court tomorrow. Where? Until and unless matters are addressed. Now, of course, the big issue is with the Judicial Service Commission in terms of complaints about impropriety by judicial officers, and then also with the judiciary itself on how it's handling cases. They complain about, adjournments, cases judgments not being delivered on time, and so on and so forth. And the Judicial Service Commission is set to respond to that. The judiciary released a statement yesterday. The judiciary itself, through spokesperson and deputy registrar, they released a statement saying, guys, we've been doing a lot. We receive many cases. Our courts are actually working very hard at resolving these cases on time. But the lawyers still responded and said, So today we're going to have the Judicial Service Commission Commissioner Jacqueline Ingutia. She sits on the JSC as a commissioner of the JSC, but she's there courtesy of the lawyers. She represents the Law Society of Kenya. So she straddles those two. LSK and representing LSK interest in the JSC. And now here she is, a JSC, and looking at how her commission has been handling this issue. So she'll come at 8 o'clock to respond to all these issues that have been raised by the lawyers. And tomorrow, at the same time, we shall have the president of the LSK to say why they're starting that boycott tomorrow. Because they've said tomorrow, boycott. And then thereafter, there are specific courts and specific judges and magistrates in whose courts they will not appear.
That's, when something gets to this point, you wonder, this escalation definitely started from somewhere. It's not a thing that happened overnight.
Yes.
So for it to get to this tipping point, who is failing where? Is it that, like Eric said, umepigia mbuzi guitar to the point where they're like, kelele za chura.
They're just they're dancing to the guitar in their dreams.
Yeah. Like, exactly. Your alarm is supposed to be waking you up. You're like, hey.
Ingoma ni nice. Yeah. Could
the
be the
bench
case.
versus the bar. I didn't think we'd ever get to see the day, but yeah.
Whew. And then, is strike the only language that we understand?
Yeah. Is that the only way that we force action or response?
I mean, I've always believed there have been consequences to things, and this in itself has birthed a consequence, which is them not going to the courts tomorrow and them deciding not to appear before certain judges. It's until you can feel the pinch of something is when you can address it.
Right.
And maybe that becomes the only way to go about this, paralyzed. But also now I'm just thinking about people that are seeking services of the courts. The ordinary Kenyan who's looking to have their matters heard before a court.
Imagine a matter had been adjourned in a case that you're in, and it was set for hearing tomorrow. Okay? And then tomorrow, courts are paralyzed. Judiciary says the courts will be open.
Yeah.
We hope lawyers will come. Now imagine you're there, umetolewa remand prison, umerudishwa kotini, and then the lawyers are not there.
Yeah.
Okay? So this matter then is pushed to a new date. Let's look for a new date.
3 months down the line.
Yeah. Or January
6
15th.
months.
Yeah.
Rudy Romande. What happens to that?
What happens to that? Yeah. It's
maswali tauliza hayo.
Maswali ni mengi. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, tuko na miss me with that. Kunayo tukufanya last week because mambo yalikuwa mengi.
Yalikuwa mengi for
leo
real.
mambo ni mengi. But our misser is Mariam. Na one thing you need to put to mind, fagia wote.
Fagia wote.
Venye tulisema tu last week.
Okay.
Pia leo tunafagia wote.
Have your broom ready.
I have received intelligence. We have received intelligence. Our intelligence agency. Miss me with that. That's you and your teaser too peke yake. Yeah.
Iko hata kwenye magazeti. What's the quote today?
Quote ya leo is courtesy of the lady who was, no, actually it's not a lady. Ramsey Clark is a former Attorney General of the United States. Yes. And the quote reads, "A right is not what someone gives you. It is what no one can take from you."
Very well said.
Yeah.
Very simply put.
Yeah. A right is not what someone gives you. It is what no one can take from you.
Amina.
Yeah.
That.
And I think that
Put a pin on that.
Put a pin on that. We'll be coming back to that with the conversations that we're going to be having.
Haya basi, tuingie magazetini very quickly. Kama kawaida tunaanza na Taifa Leo
Kwa habari na makala moto.
I don't know, guys. I think my voice is getting better by the day.
Mariah,
Sasa,
I think
you know
my
what you
voice
do
is
now?
getting better by the day.
I can give you a guy in insurance. You just insure the voice.
yeah.
Say less. Say less.
They say that you should, especially if you're a singer
That's very true.
and an award-winning
Artist.
multiple award-winning, multiple platinum selling
Artists.
Let me even, hydrate.
Hydrate a little bit.
Lovely scenes. Ukurasa wa kwanza wa Taifa Leo. Wahuni waheshimiwa. Haya, hata ingawa baadhi ya wahuni waliotishia maisha ya raia Kalou wamefichuliwa, hawajaitwa na polisi kuhojiwa. Surprise, surprise.
None of the file has been opened.
Okay, the file has been opened. Baadhi ya washukiwa wa uhuni hasa katika eneo bunge la Kalou pamoja na magari yao ya kifahari wametajwa, ila vyombo vya usalama vimekaa kitako visichukue hatua yoyote ya kinidhamu dhidi yao. Wizara ya usalama na huduma ya polisi kwa hakika wana maswali ya kujibu. And you can see the number plates in the broadest of daylights. There's broad daylights and then there's the broadest. of daylights.
From former Laikipia woman rep said, day broad light. In day broad light.
In day broad lights. Aki.
Someone once said, what's good for the geese is good for the goose. What's good for the goose is good for the duck. That's what she said.
From the brilliant minds that gave you Yaliondwele Sipiti, we now bring you in day broad light. Aya basi. Pigo la Linda Mwananchi kwa upinzani. Kundi la Sifuna laendelea kunyakua vigogo wa kisiasa wa ODM na upinzani. Kama nani, who's joined recently? Aside from Irungu. Kuna mwingine, yes, tutamwangalia. Alberto Ojwang aliuawa akiwa kwa polisi. That's according to the DPP. Upande wa mashtaka wakanusha kuwa mwalimu huyo alikufa kwa ajali. Yeah. Watu si wajinga bwana. Ruto arejea nyumbani kujitetea. Rais amepangiwa kutoa ngome yake ya South Rift kufufua ufuasi unaonekana kudidimia. Alafu kwa spoti, Uhispania vijogoo vipya wa dunia, news we know, watoa kombe la dunia kwa mara ya pili katika historia baada ya kulemea Argentina. Lakini sasa, the thing that's kind of, you know, I'd not seen the end of the match.
The brawl.
Yeah, the brawl.
Hey, what was going on? Turned into a whole UFC match. It's like, what? People just tackling each other.
Like there's the lack of sportsmanship.
Yeah.
You know, it's the lack of sportsmanship, I think, because they turned their backs when Spain were receiving the cup.
The cup.
Come
on,
that's it just speaks to a complete lack of sportsmanship. Like, what is that?
And then also in Buenos Aires, you saw the anti-riot police had to be called because things just went segem-negem.
Emotions ilikuwa too high.
The emotions were very high.
But I'm sure they take their cue from their team. Sasa watu wakionyeshana wanapeana mgongo. Anyhow. Wahuni wa wakubwa. Should we do that on the Daily Nation actually? Because it's also on the front page of the Daily Nation. But there's a story featuring Daniel Miringa, who we hosted last week from the People's IEBC, and Gen Z aibuka na mbinu ya kuzuia wizi wa kura 2027. So he shika-mic'd a few months ago with the People's IEBC, then tested it for the first time in Kalou. So, uchaguzi mdogo wa Kalou ulilipa jukwaa la People's IEBC funzo muhimu kuhusu changamoto za kutumia teknolojia katika kuthibitisha matokeo ya uchaguzi kwa wakati. Jukwaa hilo endeshwa na vijana wenye ujuzi wa teknolojia lilifanikiwa kudhibiti matokeo kutoka vituo 93 kati ya 144 ya tume ya IEBC. Aya, hesabu zake zilionyesha mgombea wa DCP Sami Ngodho akiwa mbele kwa 85.7 na wa UDA Mushina akiwa na 12.7. Mwanzilishi wa teknolojia ya People's IEBC Daniel Miringa alisema lengo halikuwa kuchukua nafasi ya IEBC bali ni kuonyesha kuwa wananchi wanaweza kutumia teknolojia kuthibitisha matokeo kwa uwazi. This has gotten a lot of traction.
Yes.
I mean, on TikTok it was moving, but to see it kind of now get onto mainstream media and then onto even other social media platforms, I'm really glad. I like the idea of having it be open source to a certain extent and allowing people to be able to view. I like the problem fixing. It's being a fixer. Par excellence.
Yeah. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Beautiful sana.
Kuna hapa Rais Ruto anazuru kusini mwa bonde, wakazi wakinungunika.
Wananungunika? Haya.
Kurasa wa 3. Rais Ruto anatarajiwa kuzuru eneo la kusini mwa bonde la Ufa wiki ijayo, huku kukiwa na malalamishi yanayoongezeka kutoka kwa wakazi wanaodai serikali yake imepuuza eneo hilo licha ya kuwa ngome yake kuu ya kisiasa. Kwa miaka mingi, kaunti za Bomet, Kericho na sehemu za Narok na Nakuru zimekuwa ngome ya Rais Ruto. Hata hivyo, miaka 4 baada ya kuingia mamlakani, baadhi ya wakazi na viongozi wa mashinani wanasema ahadi nyingi za maendeleo hazijatekelezwa, huku miradi mikubwa ikipelekwa katika maeneo yaliyounga mkono upinzani. Malalamishi hayo yalijitokeza wazi baada ya viongozi kutoka kusini mwa bonde la Ufa kumtembelea aliyekuwa naibu wa rais Rigathi Gachagua nyumbani kwake wa Munyoro. Wakidai jamii ya Kipsigis imetengwa kimaendeleo, ajira na uteuzi wa nyadhifa serikalini. Bwana Gachagua alitabiri kuwa Rais Ruto angelazimika kuzuru eneo hilo kutuliza hali, jambo ambalo sasa limethibitishwa na waziri wa usalama wa ndani Kipchumba Murkomen na kiongozi wa wengi katika Senate Aaron Cheruiyot. Okay. This is the same question I asked Adan Kenan yesterday. You people who William Ruto knows he has in the pocket, why are you expecting favors? He is courting new people.
Yeah.
You're waiting for goodies from him. He has trips to do around the country to court all the people who are either fence sitting or outrightly against him. You who he knows he has in the pocket.
What's the incentive for him
incentive?
to...
Yeah.
I mean, it's a classic case of not forgetting to tend to your garden as it is right now, as you bring in new exotic plants into the same garden. Now you want to go and bring, some beautiful shiny flowers, but don't forget about your garden. But it's also a tall order for the president. It is a very tall order because you are not cake. You cannot make everyone happy.
I'm sorry, you're not cake. You can't make. I'll be using that.
Everybody happy.
Everybody. And even cake, not everybody likes cake.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very true.
But South Rift, especially this area of the Kipsigis community around Bomet and Lower Nandi, I think it's always been restive. They always say, we are more.
Yeah.
We have the numbers. And if those in the north, those in Baringo, and now those in Eldoret, Wasingishu, are the ones that are leading this community, you've got to come to us and also, consider us.
Fair.
So it's good negotiation for them.
Kila mtu ana-
and now Gachagua going there to chokora them. Like, hey, you have to go and protect your turf. Like,
Actually, ni wao walienda wa Munyoro.
waliendaje wa Munyoro? Kuna nini? So it's the rumbling, and then Munyoro being, you come.
Like you come.
I mean,
I'll host you.
Yes, mkuje.
Kujeni tukunywe chai.
But these trips to Amunyoro, it's like a whole pilgrimage.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a pilgrimage.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like you have to go present yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Uko in Wamunyoro.
Yes.
When else have we seen this? I mean, even when Baba was at the height
Yeah.
of being like the opposition well, he was always the opposition figure. People never used to go to Bondo.
Yeah, they'd go to Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
So same.
It was always there.
People
Okay.
would go to Capitol Hill.
So sasa Capitol Hill
Yeah.
imekuwa Wamunyoro.
Imekuwa wa Munyoro. Uzuri
Zamani
super highway
tulikuwa na Kabarak.
made Nyeri very
I'm
accessible.
a Nakuru State House.
Kila mtu na yake. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. We're just about to go on a short... Actually, let's go on a short break. But when we come back, we'll take a look at the Daily Nation because some of the stories are zinenda word for word, including some new information on the trial of... on the murder of Alberto Ojwang.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll also take a look at the story around Goonism and what's happening there. But tuangalie Bitaifa.
Bitaifa leo ni Marceline Joy Kebaso ametimu umri wa miaka 25. Urebu wake ni kupika, kuogelea na kusafiri. Lakini wajasema ni wapi. Richard Maosi
Huyu anakuanga Nakuru.
Hii ni Nakuru, okay.
Inakaa ile Nakuru People's Park. Ile Nakuru People's Park pale.
Very nice. It's looking very green.
Ndio? Haya.
Tuchukue breaki. We'll be right back with the Daily Nation stories from last night and the Business Daily.
Hi, good morning. My name is Martin Gishinga. I'm a Nakuru resident. I am fixing the nation by waking up early, turning up to work and serving the people of Nakuru County. And I welcome you guys to Nakuru. Feel at home. And after the show, just take a moment to visit our wonderful tourism attraction sites. Karibu Nakuru.
Thank you so much to our fixer from Nakuru. We love to see and hear from fixers, get a vibe of what you're doing, where you are, how you're fixing the nation. Send us your video to 0769 590 762. 0769590762. Tuambie jina lako, uko wapi, how you're fixing the nation, and we can play your video in the next hour ama kesho. Au sio?
Fix us while you're online. Good morning, karibuni sana. Charles O'Peel says Andy Burnham's move into 10 Downing Street comes with a bold rewire Britain agenda that needs a miracle to fully implement. He may need to borrow President Ruto's borrowing strategies. Securitization. Yeah, a man went to the king yesterday and the king allowed him to form his Majesty's new government. Like that kind of structure.
It's like strategy.
You are elected by the people, you go to parliament, you're the majority of the political party, but you don't form the government until you meet the king. It's the king's government.
Okay.
Okay? Sasa, Charles anasema, you have to work hard at that. G. Kimando, that NTV expose on Kalou crime scene is very disturbing. State goonism will lead to a complete breakdown of law as citizens take the law into their own hands. The buck stops with the president.
It does.
Hamisi anasema, good morning, my fellow fixers. Kimando continues, when the state fails in the cardinal duty to secure its citizenry, they'll have no option but to create their own security and defense. All that will be a disaster that will take decades to rectify, if ever. You never can say it any other way. Joseph Kibere, a risk taker is someone who has diarrhea and then decides to cough. That's an all-Kalou proverb.
That is it?
An all-Kalou proverb.
Let's attribute it to Kalou.
Still make the one. Joshua 1 verse 9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
Oh, I love that.
The Kikombe has checked in day broad light. The day citizens fear the police more than the criminals, the people should ask the difficult questions. Alberto Ojwang died in the hands of goons that we pay tax to. Donge. He continues, if a policeman acts like a goon, call him a goon policeman. Only this way will the police know what kidondas must be treated. A broken compass will not find north until it admits that it's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. Brigadier, I'm sure Ruto underestimated Rigiji when he planned for his impeachment. Rigiji is that ex who never gives you peace.
Nabuta regret.
Yes. H. Matende, is it asking too much for our security forces to lead by power of example rather than example of their power? Hey, nice one.
Kama umeuliza a lot.
Charles O'Peel is back. He says, focus on the Wajir woman rep, Fatuma Jaho. There was a video circulating where she went to some part of Wajir and people were telling her, where when you one term. One term. They said they have never seen her since they elected her.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that's why Charles is saying President Ruto has spent more time in Wajir than a local elected MP.
Yeah.
Kenya has a serious leadership problem at the grassroots.
Yeah. That's true.
Mambo sana.
People better keep their word, the people of Wajir. Keep your word, keep your word. Kama mmesema ni one term,
Yes.
then remove her.
Kabisa.
And get someone who's going to work for you.
Kabisa. Wahome Steve anasema nyinyi watangazaji wa morning show, the three of you are biased. Why do you hate Gachagua? Kwanza huyo mwanaume. Either you like it or not, Gachagua is our favorite.
Okay. I guess.
Okay.
Is your favorite? You know, everyone can have their own favorite, but don't read bias there.
We don't hate Gachagua. No. We don't love Gachagua either.
Yeah.
We're just here. We're doing our job.
Imagine.
Bibi Usuni, habari za asubuhi njema, tunashukuru Mungu, kumekucha salama, hamjambo fixers, hatujambo. Son of Cronus, to the DCP, when going after the king, one best not miss. Alafu sasa tumalizie na Don Sabwa. The all-Kalou message to Kenyans is a mixture. Everyone has his own depending on the eating table. Depending on one's eating table. Okay. In Malawi, depending on which table you are eating from, we say zimatengera kumene ukudia. Zimatengera kumene ukudia.
Zimatengera kumene ukudia. Inategemea meza unakulia.
Yes.
Zimatengera kumene kuria.
Depending on which table you're eating from.
Yeah.
Ndio hayo.
You know, I'd want one day for Don Sabwa to send us a voice note.
He has done WhatsApp
a voice
Nation.
note to pronounce some of these.
In fact, now, Don Sabo, your next WhatsApp Nation should be in a complete Malawi sentence.
Yeah.
From WhatsApp Nation in Kimalawi, and then you translate.
And then translate it. That would be so good.
That's a great idea.
It's a fantastic idea. Let's look at the Business Daily. A big headline here on something that a lot of Kenyans have been talking about. The Competition Authority of Kenya probes supermarkets over misleading price tags. Naivas Carrefour Quickmart in price breach inquiry, and the watchdog forces retailers to refund overcharged users. Top supermarkets including Naivas, Carrefour, Quickmart have found themselves on the competition watchdog's radar over price cheating amid rising complaints from consumers. The Competition Authority investigated the retailers for posting different prices on the shelves from what they were charging customers at the till. The regulator also covertly investigated the supermarkets for cases of misleading consumers by raising prices on products before discounting them, so it would seem to consumers that the discounts were bigger. Buyers complained of incorrect pricing at the registry, with the complaints hinged on the, and story continues on page 2, hinged on the sticker prices being lower compared with the product cost at the cashier. Carrefour was forced to refund a shopper, Lena Gadiri, after the purchase of a rice package that was presented as a product on promotion being charged a higher price at the counter. Reading in quote, the complaint alleged that Carrefour indicated the 5 kilograms Dawat rice was on offer, yet the price at the till was different. And that this is according to the latest annual report from the Competition Authority. The complainant was refunded and a warning was issued to Carrefour, and the matter was closed. The Competition Authority sanctions on supermarkets chains are backed by Section 55 to 70 of the Competition Act, which gives the watchdog powers to investigate complaints relating to false or misleading representations and unconscionable conduct. Oh yeah, that sentence. Ooh. And the supply of unsafe, defective, and unsuitable
to
goods.
Parliament. You will not be able to say conscientiously.
Conscientiously. But you know, this thing of price discrepancies and the games that happen when promos are being run is something that Kenyans have been talking about, and how Kenyans are now very alert at the till when you're paying and looking at your receipt.
Because you've done your math.
Yeah, you're doing your math. You're like, these 5 items cannot have cost me 10,000 shillings.
Hey. And then that game of adding the price of something so that you can discount it.
Yeah.
That game as well. I think so many TikTokers have done this thing where just go lift like the discounted price tag and then you see what was underneath. And it's the discounted price was the price.
Actually was the price.
Yeah.
So it was this price, then we add 20 bob, and then we discount by 20 bob. And then we put a plaster there, and it was.
It was this.
Now.
It was 199, now it's 179. But if you just remove that thing.
It was actually 179.
It was 179.
It's people are now very alert to these things, and I'm happy that the Competition Authority is also just cracking down on the same, but also coming down to even things of standardizing, like having recommended retail prices like run across the board. There's a TikToker who has been doing like price comparisons across different retailers. I think you've seen him. And even just down to like a packet of milk. What is the price markup on milk at why am I buying it like 10 times more than I would buy it at another retailer?
That's a good question. Let's talk about cost of transport, economy, drought, the things we used to say when we were asked.
Soil erosion.
Yeah. Poor climatic conditions.
List 5 factors.
Yes. Yeah. But you know what? Well, in CAK, I hope that they didn't have to wait for. I feel like anyway. I don't know the capacity of the Competitions Authority, but I'm hoping that it didn't have to be multiple customer complaints for them to go check how supermarkets are operating.
Yeah.
I hope so.
It's I mean, also, do you really need Big Brother to keep watching over you for you to do the right thing?
Imagine.
Anyway, Tika headlines. A court has refused to enforce a 438% annual interest charge imposed on a digital loan, signaling closer judicial scrutiny of punitive mobile credit terms. Very good. 438% annual interest is wild and just nasty work.
And then you go and ask a court to enforce it.
How? It is. Well, that's a story that's on page 5. Deal makers Belgard Keen has been revealed as the majority owner of the firm that recently acquired a controlling stake in fund manager Nabo Capital. That's on page 6. On matters infrastructure, Kenya drops US firm and plans 4-lane Nairobi-Mombasa road. The government will expand the existing Nairobi-Mombasa highway to at least 4 lanes and charge a toll fee for its use, abandoning earlier plans by a US investor to construct a new expressway. A new report by the Treasury PPP Directorate shows that the bids for transaction advisor to restructure the project have already been received. And the transaction advisor will also review the project's technical and financial feasibility and advise on the procurement of a private investor to upgrade the existing corridor into a 4-lane highway that motorists will pay to use.
You know, this section of Mombasa to Nairobi, Aki, it will never come to light.
I was about to ask how long this has been going on. 461 kilometers.
It has been on for long. Kibaki days, into Uhuru days, into going to America and signing a deal with some company to come and do the road. Then the government tells the company, you know what, we don't have the money to raise it. Can you afford to raise money? And then you make it a toll road. The guys were like, no, as guys, we don't do toll roads. So they pull out. Another company, Ever Strong Capital, comes in with Ushahidi and they say, let's do this. We shall do this road. You know, they present their proposal. Somehow it gets passed and then it is reversed by the PPP Directorate, the National Treasury. Now here we are. We are not creating a road. We shall expand it into a 4-lane highway. 4-lane means just a dual carriageway.
That's it.
It's like Southern Bypass.
Bus. You know, you're right. Mombasa Road has been under construction since I was a child.
Yeah.
Like, Nasi Wongo, there were diversions then. There are diversions now. And it's never been more than 2 lanes. So what is happening?
Now because the whole idea here was to make it a bigger road, have feeder lanes and all, because it's serving a population that's really growing in that corridor. So make a corridor wide enough. Now we've come and said, you know what, let's just make it dual carriageway with 2 lanes.
Let's not complicate matters.
Yeah, let's not complicate matters.
Oh, my Lord. We just wait. For me, it's just the general nature of these conversations is that when a process is not time-bound, then it runs for years and years and years, and there's no pressure to ever complete it. It's a big problem. On the life section, that's on page 19, where the rich grow money for their children. Families reduce allocations to real estate and seek investments with long-term growth. So, Apo, you can learn a thing or two about growing those investments for your kiddos. And in the intelligence section on page 9, we have an article by Mureithi Ndegwa, Rethinking Performance Playbook in the Digital Era.
You're here. Very good. Let's go to the Daily Nation. The headline of the Daily Nation today is Untouchables, and it's following up on the Kalou crime scene story that was done by Ibrahim Karanja the day before yesterday. So, the Untouchables, a team from DCI headquarters still waiting for complainants to file a report. Hey. We have photos here from that story of several motor vehicles with their number plates clearly captured. 4 days after armed, hooded men in flashy vehicles unleashed terror on residents during the Kalou by-election last Thursday, there have been no arrests yet. Police are also yet to summon the registered owners of vehicles captured in the chaotic scenes, including an MP, as well as several individuals caught on the camera appearing to engage in voter bribery and other electoral offences to record statements. This has raised questions as to whether the latest investigation will stall like over a dozen others involving violent gangs attacking unarmed civilians. This story continued yesterday even and continues this story as goes on page 4 of the Daily Nation. It's who are the owners of some of these vehicles. The story by Ibrahim, you know, he spent time some with hidden cameras and others where he was just basically approaching and interviewing people. And when he captured some of this, he saw there are people who appeared in several meetings. And then there are people who appeared in company of other people in several meetings. Somebody who appeared in some of those rallies is the current chairperson of the Communication Authority Board, Charles Kamau Karondo. So Charles Kamau Karondo is the chair of Communication Authority. Previously, he was chair of Water Authority, the Athi Water Works Development Agency, right? He appeared in one of those, in some of those meetings in Kalou. In some meeting, he's actually captured on video being among those that are distributing cash. All right? What was he doing there? There's a place where it comes to him leaving the venue, he's seen getting into his vehicle with someone who, in Ibrahim Karanja's story, is called the NY Cap man. He's wearing the NY cap, right? So, Mr. Karondo enters the vehicle with this guy with a black cap. Then later, as chaos starts happening, a man in a balaclava jumps out of the Toyota Prado in which Karondo was riding with handcuffs visible at his waist, moments before masked and armed men confronted a DCP roadshow truck. So the chairman of the Communication Authority is in a vehicle. These suspicious guys are also in that vehicle. A guy walks out of that vehicle, now hooded, joins others in hooded, and so on and so forth. So you're like, what's the connection? The other person who's been named in this particular story is a guy called Patrick Waigwa-Biliha. Patrick Waigwa-Biliha is a former speaker of the Laikipia County Assembly who was in office between 2017 and 2022. As a speaker, of course, you know, he was the chairman of the appointments committee. He oversaw the running of the county assembly. Since leaving office, he has remained active in politics and is indicated as recently declaring his intention to vie for the Laikipia East MP seat, which is currently held by Mwangi Kionjori, who is also a close ally of his. He is also engaged in Christian ministry with public videos that show him preaching. There are people who actually even call him pastor. Now, he is seen in some of these areas. At Mawingo, undercover cameras captured Biliha holding bundles of cash and distributing money to people who had queued in groups of 3. Later, at a primary school, he appeared once again wearing different clothing, but engaged in what appeared to be the same activity in the same area where cash was being distributed. So these are some of those guys. These vehicles have number plates. The identity of, you know, the owner of the motor vehicle is a simple search on the NTSA portal. And summoning, you so-and-so, come. Your vehicle was spotted here. If you come and deny that your vehicle was not spotted there, maybe somebody has duplicated the number plate. Okay, another investigation commences. Show us, where were you on this day? Where was this your vehicle on this day? If this KCQ 4488H that's on a silver Toyota Prado is actually not registered for a silver Toyota Prado, then establish. Unaweza hii ni ya lori. Okay.
The level of frustration is just, it's beyond. Because as I'm looking at that headline, Untouchables, one, who duplicates number plates in this country? Would be your question. Because if you're saying there's a Prado that's KCQ 488H, but when you search the portal, it comes up as a Mercedes-Benz ML350. Okay, that's one case. Another one, a black Toyota Land Cruiser with a KDW number plate, but the company, a private company says that registration number belongs to its vehicle, a Toyota Probox. Another case of a white Harrier with the number plate KDX 410K. The vehicle is registered to a company owned by a Pakistani car dealer based in Mombasa. So it's either that this vehicle was bought immediately and driven to Kalou, or someone has duplicating number plates. Who can duplicate number plates? Because these look legitimate. This does not look like something you would make at home. It's either highly organized criminals or it is someone working within the ranks and files of government. Those are your only two options.
What gives you that level of access?
You look at IG Kanja and Amin, that's another story that we're just about to cover, in court over the missing men in Mathare that we spoke about a few weeks ago. And they were summoned, they said nothing, they went. Justice Muteti said no one can stand in your place. But when Justice Muteti had them, also nothing was asked. But I don't know if that's more on the prosecution. It's not about.
I think it was a procedure thing. And I can't get into that story. So they appeared, they were summoned and they appeared in court yesterday. And the lawyers especially for the representing the families and the family interests, one of them being Faith Odhiambo, former LSK president, was saying these are the people who hold the ultimate command over the goings on in the police service. So they should be asked. Then the lawyers for the two police bosses stood and said, okay, but bring the issues in which you want them to respond to. Until then, let them go. When there's an issue substantive that they come to respond to, let them come and respond to a specific issue. And I think that's what the judge said. Okay. They're here. We shall follow now process. But let's listen into what was happening in the courts yesterday. Faith Odhiambo was speaking there. And then also we have Paul Nyamodi, who's the lawyer representing the two police bosses.
Because as much as replies have been filed by other members in the National Police Service, there are questions that can only be answered by those in command responsibility. They are the only ones who can deploy, they are the only ones who can give direction, they are the only ones who can hold individual officers responsible.
The applicants must lay the basis, and from that basis, those issues arise. They have not arisen, isn't it? And it is their application, and it is then not proper to put the DCI and the IG in the stand, and those issues have not arisen.
Naomba kama kuna mali amewekwa, naomba usaidizi mnisaidie aregeshwe kwangu.
We have cried, we have talked, tumeenda media, tumejaribu kama binadamu, kama mwananchi wa kawaida, mali tunaweza fika, tumejaribu. Kwa saizi mali imefika, mali sauti yetu iweze fika, tunaomba Mungu akaweze kutufikishia.
Yeah, the last person to speak there is the wife of one of those that are missing, saying, you know what, we've done everything.
Yeah.
Something else that's happening from yesterday, today, and tomorrow in the courts in Kibera. Finally, the murder trial on the death of Alberto Ojwang is commencing. Police officers, 3 people, including the former OCS of Central Police Station, are in the docks. So it started yesterday. There were some people who came there as witnesses, and they were protected witnesses, so they were not being seen by the public, but they were in court in a hidden cubicle. They presented their evidence. One of them saying, is an officer who worked in the station. Another one was an ICT officer who was asked, allegedly, to delete footage of, the goings on that night. And also, some people also appeared, an IT expert, the guy who came and installed the system for CCTV. He had been called that day, came and found the DVR, the recording machine, had been yanked from the power. But there was still some CCTV footage that shows some things that were happening in the courts.
Some activity, including some police officers walking into the cell where Alberto Ojwang was being held. Some other unidentified 2 people who walk into that cell, and then they walk out, and then they're later seen walking out carrying what appeared to be something heavy. And then this witness saying, they raised the questions on, what's going on here? What has happened here? And there's a particular police officer who's mentioned in this particular, by one of those witnesses. But let's just hear in what the protected witness was saying in court.
So vile sasa umeangalia DVR na umereformat, ulifanya nini? So ulilipwa pesa ngapi na ulilipwa na nani?
Nilipwa 3,000.
Na ulilipwa na nani?
Yes.
I asked another question. Where was the cell sentry when all this happened? What does PC Kimani say about this?
Did you ever receive a response to these questions?
No response. I told the OCS that Dana said he's still sleeping. He told me, tell him to take Uber. Then I told the OCS, can we review the CCTV so that we can see what really happened? We saw PC Kimani talking to...
You saw who? Speak up.
PC Kimani.
Kimani?
Yes.
Yeah. PC Kimani, yes.
Talking to 2 people at the entrance of the main entrance of the cells.
Death was caused by an assault, which was fatal in nature. which was well orchestrated and planned, and that he was helpless. We should also call experts, my lady. A pathologist who will establish that the cause of death for Albert was blunt force head injuries, neck compression, and multiple injuries sustained over his body.
The last lady who's speaking there is the prosecutor in this particular case, representing Ransom Oganga, the DPP. Case continues today and tomorrow, the hearing. It's 7 a.m. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we talk about, the plight of small traders across our country, from hawkers to people who are running kiosks, the mamambogas and all. Are they being protected by the government, county and national? Good morning. It's 7 a.m.